You are my buddy until the end. You're not just my buddy. You're my best friend. Okay, right off the bat, can I objectively say that Child's Play 2019 is a good movie? No. I can't objectively say this is a good movie. There's some pretty cringy stuff in here. There's some not great acting. It goes generally the route you think it's gonna go. It's predictable. But you know what? It's not objectively good, but it's entertaining. Fun with it. It is, the retelling of the Child's Play story. Chucky is a killer doll. Obviously, they're retelling the story with AI this time, going awry. They make a joke in the movie. It's like, this is how every AI taking over the world, AI apocalypse, movie, begins. They make that joke. And yeah, that kind of ends up happening a little bit. And I heard, I think Red Letter Media, someone brought this up. I do like watching Red Letter Media when I get the chance, but I don't watch. Someone asked me, I'm jumping it. Someone asked me, who I watch, like YouTubers I watch. Red Letter Media wasn't on the list. That's not to say I don't know who they are or watch what they do sometimes. It's just I don't readily watch them. And forgive, I was trying to find the best spot. I'm next to a tree so the sun's not beaming down on me. But it's causing this little speckle of light on my face. Wait, can I? Yeah, there we go. Let's lounge and chat a little bit about Psychotic Killer Robot. But they made a point in saying, and a lot of people have, that this could have been any type of killer robot doll movie. Didn't have to. If you took the name Child's Play off this movie, nothing changes about the movie. There's nothing inherently Child's Play about the DNA of this film, apart from, Chucky being creepy. But look, first off, Chucky, played by Mark Hamill, is really unsettling. I'll give him credit. They do a good job making this thing unsettling looking. And it's a practical effect most of the time. I mean, some CGI is there. There's questions I have, but like for instance, near the end, you see it in the trailer. Chucky's controlling the Z-Mart. It's called. And he's basically hanging Andy's mom, Aubrey Plaza, off a forklift with a rope, and he's going up there with a weed whacker to cut the rope. Chucky was on the ground. Then he makes it all the way up there to Andy. I'm like, okay, I get that he's a doll, and apparently stronger than you might think for that doll, like designed like that, and basically a robot. But how the F did he get up there? It's like, no. So yeah. But yeah, Chucky is the best part of the movie, bar none. But also, and I don't know the name of the cop. The cop, who's his not a neighbor because he's visiting his mom who lives there, is pretty is pretty good too. I like his character because he's just the guy like this. He's a good guy and everything along those lines. He goes to visit his mom and have lunch and dinner with her. Chucky kills his mom, and her death was a pretty. I mean, you saw what was coming. But because it was the buildup, that was an unsettling death. And that's coming from a movie that has deaths that include a guy, the cheating boyfriend turns out was already married. A guy falling off a roof of his house, breaking both his legs, like they split. And I'll be honest, while that can happen, the height he fell from and the way he landed, I really doubt that would happen like that. Then again, with the amount of beer we saw him drinking, he wasn't an alcoholic, but we always saw him having a beer. Maybe he just had brittle bones. I don't know. I'm just saying that can happen like that, but it usually takes more than just a fall from that height to do it. And then he gets his head basically chopped off by a lawnmower and his face carved off by Chucky, which he delivers on a watermelon to Andy. Because he saw that they were enjoying a horror movie for all the fun and gore. So yeah, they don't skimp on some of the gore. What I will wonder is, and I can't remember the name of the actual company, why the hell would a company design a doll physically capable of killing a human? Because they were doing Buddy 2.0, and a couple of them were blonde, brunette, all that stuff, and there was a teddy bear, Buddy Bear, and the Buddy Bear was capable of killing people, legitimately on its own. What the hell kind of company designs a doll that's literally capable of killing you on its own if for some reason the AI goes awry? So yeah. And you do feel bad for Andy in this, because it's the kid, he is partially deaf, he's deaf in one ear, so he has trouble making friends a little awkward. Then you see Buddy, and Buddy's obviously Chucky is he's defective, and he's actually returned, has been returned to someone else by someone else. We don't know if anything screwy happened with them. It doesn't seem like it. Billy said he was acting weird. Initially, I'll explain, because I have no issue spoiling this one. I'll explain what the whole deal with Chucky is in just a second, but because of what's going on with Chucky's not limited by all the Limiter's normal dolls. He can swear, he can cuss, he can learn things differently than others. And you see Chucky and him having a good time. You actually do see them becoming legitimate friends. And for a little while, you're like, it sucks, because you can see Andy doesn't want to do this to Chucky, because this is something that this is a thing that really grew on him as a friend. He saw it as an individual. But then he kills the cat, or attacks the cat and then kills the cat, and then, something's wrong with Chucky. Which, by the way, the minute I saw that cat, I knew that cat was dead. Like, oh, this is not going to end well for you, Mr. Puss Puss. To which is like, well, cats can be dicks. And then, he interprets anyone that doesn't make Andy happy as someone that needs to go, because Andy needs, now he can have fun again. And that's the thing, too. Even though Chucky is creepy and horrible, at the same time, everything Chucky's doing, up until the point where he tries to kill Andy, and even then, it's not from the aspect of trying to kill you because I'm going to fix you, Andy. It's because he just wants to be with Andy. It's basically Glenn Close, like, I will not be ignored, Andy, but, I'm a killer robotic doll who tries to kill people. So, yeah, but there's some cringeworthy dialogue. There's some tropes like the douchebag asshole boyfriend, and, okay, I like Aubrey Plaza. She was not good in this movie. I'm sorry, she was not good in this movie at all. Okay, she's not god-awful, but yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Aubrey Plaza in this movie. I didn't buy it. I really didn't buy it. Now, that being said, they do make the argument that because Aubrey Plaza is only like in her late 20s, early 30s. Why someone like Aubrey Plaza would have a kid as old as Andy, who I believe is 13? And she goes, "Yeah, I had a pretty frisky sweet 16," which actually would make it 29. Scale that up. So yeah. But the whole idea of what's going on with Chucky, they show it right from the get. What's going on with Chucky, and immediately I'm watching this like, this is dumb. Like, okay, the reasoning why Chucky is so what happens is the Taiwan I think it's Thailand, again, is it just Zed, whatever, basically where they make the Chucky dolls or the Buddy dolls. There's this one coworker who daydreams, and the boss, who immediately is a dick, is like, you're fired, finish that one up and go, and then go back on the streets. And I'm immediately like, why? No, if he's fired, he's fired. No, first off, really, this boss is a terrible boss. Like, not just because he's an ass, but because he's a terrible boss. He doesn't know how to run this place right. But why would you ask the guy you just fired, who's still programming things into the doll, who's clearly doesn't give a crap anymore because he ends up killing himself, throwing himself out the window? Why would you ask him to finish the doll when you just fired him? That gives him all the time in the world to, I don't know, take out every safety protocol, every limiter you can put into the doll to make this doll completely and utterly insane. And my God, the commentary on where we're going as a culture with technology and AI really makes me glad I'm still a dinosaur in mentality when it comes to technology. And I don't think that's ever going to change us. I don't want like an Alexa or a Google that can control everything in my home, I'm going to be honest. I don't want that, because that takes away, or honestly our wanting to do something, our enabling. It takes away things that we as people are capable of learning, simple things. But look, I'm going to be honest. I grew up in a generation where we didn't have cell phones like for throughout most of the 90s. I don't know how to read a map. I'll be honest. I probably should know how to read a map, but I don't know how to read a map unless it's on Google, and I admit that fully. I don't know how to change a tire on my own, so I need like AAA and stuff like that. Things like that are fine, but then you get into things where it's like, okay, control the temperature. Okay, order a pizza. Okay, the minute the woman got into the self-driving car, I'm just saying to myself, nope. Never in my life am I ever going to get into an AI-controlled self-driving car. I'm not a big fan of driving, if I'm going to be honest. I don't like being in control of a vehicle that could literally kill someone if they just walked in front of me and I'm going 20 miles an hour. And yeah, that sounds slow speed, but you could do that. But I understand. I need a vehicle in my life just because of where I live. I don't live in like a city where I could just walk everywhere or take a bicycle. Technically I could, but not in the winter I couldn't. So the point being, I get why I need a car. I don't want anything. If I'm gonna have to be driven, I want a person driving the car. I want to be driving the car myself. No way I'm ever gonna trust a computer to do that because people are lazy. So, and I get it. There might be some like legitimate reason we need that. But at the same time, it's like, really, are we so lazy that we don't want to drive anymore? That we need people to say, oh, turn the thermostat one. I can be okay with controlling the TV, recording everything, and then controlling other products such as drones that you attach razor blades to, and took out a guy who was dressed up as Buddy, then he stabbed the neck, who you think might make it, but think it's just his face just jink. Controlling all the Buddy dolls, just attacking people with them. Yeah, there comes a point where there's a little too much progression. I'm sorry, I'm a guy who likes DVDs. I'm not really big into my girlfriend has Netflix. We have the 30-day trial for Amazon Prime, but I'll be honest, I'm a dinosaur who doesn't do the Netflix stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably going to at some point go into like streaming, either with like the Disney Plus or maybe DC All Access, something like that. But I digress. So the way it ends, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because it ends, they kill Chucky, they burn him alive, things go back generally like into a peaceful state, and then you see like new Buddy dolls being, packaged up, and one of the eyes just kind of flickers and he smiles. I'm like, okay, so it makes sense that Chucky, because he's an AI, would just, transfer a bit of his AI into another doll. That's the way that kind of works, like with Ultron, or I Am Mother was the one on Netflix that did that. Spoiler. Basically anything where you could just, implant it somewhere else. But look, despite all the, positives I said in the beginning, it's like, it's fun. All that, it's not an I can't say it's an objectively good movie. It's an entertaining movie. For me, like, you want to talk about guilty pleasure movies right now? And I'm gonna get like people just going, really? Super Mario Brothers, the live action movie. I said it. No regrets. I'm not taking it back. It is a terrible movie objectively. Like, okay. I can't say a film is objectively good because it's all figurative. Films is subjective to me. But in terms of like, is it a good film? No, it's not a good film. Is it an entertaining film? Yes. Is Super Mario Brothers movie a good film? Hell no. Do I enjoy watching it? Hell yeah. It's like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I own it. I enjoy it, but I don't think it's a particularly strong film, but I enjoy it. X-Men Origins Wolverine, that's a guilty pleasure movie for me right there. So this probably falls on the guilty pleasure side of the spectrum. There are some legitimately good kills. There's some legitimately creepy moments. Chucky itself is really good. I thought the cop was pretty good. But there's other, Aubrey Plaza, not so great. It's easily predictable. It's pretty cheesy. There's some bad dialogue. Some things which I was like, pulled over from seeing, this is the end. It's like, time to play. Andy. So yeah, I can't, excuse me. If you're curious, I might recommend it on a matinee. I'd say if you're on the fence, go on the good side of the fence where you're not watching the film. In terms of trailers, we had Crawl, which we got like two. Technically, we got two. We got one that was like a 10-second spot, but we got the main trailer for Crawl. Where it's like, I loved how Robert Byron Burnett put it. If you don't know who Robert Meyer Burnett is, he's a pundit. He works in the movie business. Shows up on the John Campea show a lot. I love Robert Meyer Burnett. He's a huge sweaty and a geek. I love him. But I like how they put I like how he put it. It was like, this would be terrifying enough. You're trapped in a cellar. You're injured, and the flood's coming during a hurricane. That'd be bad enough. And then the alligators came. It's like, all right, yeah. And you know what? It's just slocky creature film, and the alligator effects actually don't look too bad either. I'm down. I was surprised I didn't get a trailer for 47 Meters Down Uncaged. I was surprised I didn't get a trailer for that. Scary stories that to be told in the dark. I'm not a huge horror guy. I like creature features and like movies like this that are based off existing properties. I'll give those a shot to see how they compare. But generally speaking, I'm not huge on horror. This looks creepy and fun. I like this trailer. I like the look of this movie. Ad Astra, I think it's based off a book, but I can't be certain. All I know is it looks okay, but we don't know what it's about. Brad Pitt's got to go fight his father, Tom Lee Jones, in space after he's dealing with a substance that could wipe out all the life in the solar system. So, no pressure. I'm going to say that one because I don't like it. 21 Bridges, I think that's based off a book, oddly enough, as well. With Chadwick Boseman. That looks pretty good. Addams Family. We got a weird collection of trailers attached to this. Addams Family. I think it looks fine. The trailer we get is fine. I just like a different trailer at this point. Bad Trip. It's essentially a combination of it's Bad Grandpa, but with other actors like Tiffany Haddish, Nick Kroll, I think. And basically, honestly, the guys from Uncle Drew, from Uncle Drew, but it's done in like a Bad Grandpa Jackass style where it's real pranks but with real actors, so there's kind of a story plot going on. Okay. All right. I'm not really my thing. I never was into that kind of stuff. Then Good Boys. That's the movie I always forget the name of, where it's the kid, like the 12 or 13-year-old kids, and they're tweens, as they put it, going to party, and it's just like all these swearing and stuff like that, and it's clearly R-rated. I think it's Jonah Hill is directing it, and I have no interest in this film. God, Booksmart. I still want to see. I'm hearing just amazing things about Booksmart. This movie I have no interest to see. Now, that's not because it's raunchy, it's some kids or anything like that. That's not the reason. The reason is there's no way there's kids that are this dumb, sure, but the amount of dumb that's being portrayed on screen with these kids is mind-boggling. Like, really, you're this stupid? Like, really, you're this stupid? It's like, what's this? It's a tampon. Girls shove it up their butts so they don't have babies. Okay, that's... You're... I could maybe see that, but then, like, not kids, 12-year-olds not knowing how to get through a child-proof cap on some gummy vitamins? Really? Or how about this? She's a nymphomaniac. Was she sets fires? No. She has sex on land and sea. Nah. No, look, I'm not saying they should know what that is at that age. I'm not saying that at all. Should they know what a tampon is? I mean, they're boys, so I guess they don't really need to know at that age, but it's not unfeasible for a kid to know what that is. But at 12, you should, in theory, be able to understand how a child-proof cap works. They're child-proof, but it's mostly for some young children. And there's other bits, too, like crossing the interchange. Are we 5th graders? Are we 6th graders? Like, you're idiots is what you are. You're dumbasses. And not in an entertaining way. Like, I'd be screaming at, if I was the only one in the theater, I'd be screaming at the screen watching this movie. This doesn't look funny to me at all. Which means I'll probably go see it just so I can have an entertaining review. Kind of like what I did with Sun Is Also a Star. Maybe this will usurp Sun Is Also a Star, though I doubt it. Because I'd imagine I could probably get a couple laughs out of this movie somewhere down the line. I digress, though. So that was Child's Play. Ultimately, I had fun, but it's not a very good movie. It's not the worst movie of the year. God, no. Would it make it onto the worst list right now? Probably, but probably on the low end of the worst list. But I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Now, ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, whatever. Anything on the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. So I'll be back well, I've got Who Would Wins I got to do for today, and then I got the Who Would Win, the What If, and the box office tomorrow. Spider-Man's going to be on Tuesday, though. I don't know if I'll do the review Tuesday or Thursday. The Thursday's 4th of July, so we'll see what's going on. I got to confirm with Mark if he wants to do it on Thursday or not. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, folks. Later.